I've become an expert on guns. And you'll have a group of Venezuelan killers, street gangs, occupying the town with MK-47's. I know that gun very well. I got to know it very well. I've become an expert on guns.
You're watching Blunt Politics with Boston Brian.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Blunt Politics. I am Boston Brian, the political podcast by regular people for regular people. Yes, as you heard, Donald Trump has become overnight an expert in weapons, as we know that incredibly deadly MK-47, as well as the AZ-15 and the Abrams M1074 AJK-47 tank. Those ones, just incredibly deadly weapons. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching, depending on where you're listening from, when you're listening, where you're listening, you know what? Let's bring in the chat. Let's bring in the chat right away. How we doing, guys? First off, to the mods, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate your services. How's everybody doing? Turpy, Tanya, how you doing? Pauline, Scotty, Frida, Alyosha, Jupiter, Judy, John, Leah, Moon Girl, how's everybody doing? Welcome. Lots to get to, lots to discuss. I do want to talk about my trip to the incredible doctor's office here at the world of Bryantology. We have obviously some of the most incredible doctors here, pulled from some of the most incredible fields from all over the world. You'll never know their names because we're very secretive here at the House of Bryantology. But what they did tell me is that I'm suffering from what they call cover too muchitis, which is the disease that makes you want to cover just everything that happened in the news that week, even though you only have a once a week 2-hour podcast. So it just sucks when you don't end up getting to things that you want to get to. So I've tried to narrow down a little bit the scope of what we're going to cover, so we don't have to, I don't know, maybe not cover some things that we want to, or bounce around too much, or just to make it so we can get a full show in doing, a good chunk of each things that I want to cover instead of just a few minutes. But Becky, how are you? MK, Evie's on. What's going on? B-Dog, what's going on? B-Dub, Rob Saunders, MJ, appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Welcome to any of the new Midas Touch fans, or Midas Mighty, as we like to be called, that have come since my last video went out on Midas Touch. I do appreciate the love. We did receive a good bump in subscribers from that. So thank you very much. If you're listening, if you're watching, make sure you, whatever you do, what do you do on Twitch? Do you like, and can you like on Twitch? Is it a like? Or you can comment or whatever, or you can leave a comment on Twitter, or you can like it on Instagram, or you can become a channel member. It's the little join button down below. If you're on YouTube, it's $1.99 a month. Really goes a long way to help the channel. Or you can become a Patreon at patreon.com/Boston Brian. 3 good tiers on there to suit your financial needs. That is also, but the best way I think to help us is to grab a shirt at getdemshirts.myshopify.com, because not only does it help me and the channel, but it also helps Mel, producer Mel, girlfriend Mel, because she comes up with all the designs, she does all the web work in the background. So anything that we make on there obviously goes a long way to help her as a single mom, her and her son. So that would be a fantastic way to help out the channel, because not only do you get something in return that you can wear, something tangible, but you're helping out some good people and a good cause. So thank you very much. And I do want to start off by sending my condolences, thoughts, and prayers to anybody affected by this hurricane that really did some severe damage down south. And if you know anybody, if you've been directly affected yourself, I just want to, let you know that not only I, but the chat here at Blunt Politics is with you. If there's anything that we can do, please don't hesitate to reach out. The email is bostonbrianmtm@gmail.com, or throw it in the chat. If there's any way we can assist you, if there's anything that you need, whatever it may be, you let us know and we'll be there. So thoughts and prayers to anybody. I mean, check this out. I mean, let's see if I can hop right into it. Just let's see here. I don't know if I'll mute it and we'll just maybe watch it in the background. But some of this footage is just, I don't know. It's crazy. It really is crazy. And to think that a lot of these people may not have insurance on their property, or may not have insurance on their motor vehicle, depending on what the laws are in the state. I know Florida has some of the highest insurance in the country. So I don't know. A lot of people probably going without. And, I hope Andrea, I probably should have checked in on Andrea. I don't know where she is in relation to all what's going on behind me. And if you're just listening right now, we're watching some of the footage of the destruction and, the surf caused by Hurricane, what is it? Helene, I believe it is, right? Let me see if I can get you some volume and see what they're saying.
Helene made landfall around Taylor.
Oh, she's good. I thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. Good to hear. I don't never want to hear that anybody that we know directly, obviously even indirectly, is in danger or trouble or in need of anything like that. So, and I know the Sparklers had the Zoom chat last night. I do apologize. I wanted to get there. I stayed late at my mom's watching a movie with my brother and my sister, and by the time I got home, it was late, and I passed out. There's just no other way to describe that. Unfortunately, today after the show, I have to go do a plumbing job, and then I have to do laundry, and then I'm going to my dad's to probably watch a little football. So, been a busy weekend. I do apologize. Hopefully on the next one, I'll catch you there. But yeah, some of this footage is crazy.
Taylor County, Florida, between Tallahassee and Tampa, with impacts felt hundreds of miles away. The hurricane storm surge was significant.
And I do apologize if there's that odd idiot out there holding a metal pole in a hurricane somehow to try to get on TV because it's a Trump flag. I don't know. I'd start a few of those clips floating around on Twitter, so I don't know what's in this one. I haven't pre-watched it.
Significant enough to trigger water rescues from the Big Bend to Southwest Florida, and mobile homes were even said to be floating in the coastal town of Steinhatchee.
Look at how high it is. And if you're just listening, we're looking at footage that I'm going to say water, ruffle. It's actually really hard to tell. That looks like right here in the center. I don't know if you can see this little hut right here in the center. It's about halfway up what looks to be, I don't know, a service or a bathroom in the middle of this complex. So I'd say probably a good 5-6 feet at least, maybe a little higher on the storm surge at this point. Let's see if I'll skip ahead. I know there's just some wild footage.
Clearwater Beach reported about 6.7 feet of inundation or above average high tide, easily surpassing its previous record.
And I think this is just Florida, and I know there was more states affected for some reason. I think this is maybe a Florida YouTuber or something like that, so they're just covering Florida, or the other states are coming at the end of the video. I'm not sure.
From the March 1993
I know North Carolina, what was it? Georgia. I know there's a few places.
superstorm, the St. Petersburg
Look at
Gulch,
that. Just incredible. The streets have been turned into literal rivers.
about 9.1 feet of inundation, also crushed its previous modern era record from 1985's Hurricane Helene.
Wow. Just destroyed everything. Because there's nothing, there's gas in that water. There's all sorts of toxins and sewage and, people that had septic systems, that stuff floats to the top. It just, anything that water touches, literally, it's got to be either destroyed or completely replaced. And again, if you don't have homeowners insurance or any sort of insurance covering your business or anything like that, if you're down in Florida, then yeah, I'm sorry to say, fucked. Yeah.
Over
I mean, that whole neighborhood literally in the
8.5
water.
feet of inundation was reported by a
Let me see if I can skip ahead. I want to see if they cover. I want to make sure we get the other. Oh, that's still Florida. Still Florida. Wow, check that out.
Helene was set to smash into Florida's Big Bend.
Sorry, the I'm not sure what channel this is. I just literally wanted to see a compilation of some of the footage coming out of this, and this was the best one that I could find so far. So I do apologize that she said Florida. Look at that. That is unbelievable. And again, if you're just listening and looking at what seems to be a raging river between two apartment complexes carrying substantial debris and flowing at a good clip. If anybody were to step into that, there's no way you'd be able to stay on your feet.
Helene was set to smash into Florida's Big Bend region late Thursday, according to an 11 p.m. update from the National Hurricane Center. That update described a monster storm. Maximum sustained winds were blowing 140 miles per hour.
140 miles an hour. So what it came ashore as what, a cat? Was it a cat 4? And then was reduced to a cat 2 and so on and so forth. Yeah, but the clips coming out of it are just crazy. But again, thoughts and prayers, and anybody that needs assistance, make sure that, I'm sure the Red Cross, I'm sure there's a lot of agencies out there that are out there specifically to help people that need it in case of natural disasters or emergencies just like this. So, if there's, I don't know if the mods or anybody could throw the, Red Cross, if there's like a link or something for the Red Cross that we could put in there in the chat for anybody that may need it, or a family member that may need it. Because, even if you're not living in Florida or anywhere down south that's been affected by this, you may have family down there, friends, colleagues, co-workers, something like that. So you never know who could help it. If we could do that, I'm not even sure it's possible. Again, I'm not the tech wizard, as I don't have to explain to you guys. But anyways, all right, on to the next one. And I'm going to apologize here. Let me see if I can come back to just me. All right, and I'm going to apologize for this. I do apologize. But I feel like this is something that we at least have to listen to a few minutes of, because not only is it one of the biggest right-wing talking heads and who used to be the biggest TV personality on Fox News for several years, Tucker Carlson, almost a god to conservatives and Republicans at this point, even though his audience has shrunk dramatically since getting taken out of the limelight at Fox News. Seems to be that it's the time slot at Fox News and not so much the personality in that time slot. Go figure. Anyways, but he sits down and has a conversation with one of the let's say friends of our good friend Hal Sparks' show, who he loves to cover, and one of the craziest people on earth, I'd like to say, Roseanne Barr. So without further ado, let me see if I can get into this. And yes, this is just a little bit of Tucker Carlson's sit-down conversation with Roseanne Barr. Yeah, again, my apologies. She sits down with Tucker for what, over an hour. So go fuck yourself if you think I'm going to cover the whole thing. We'll do a few minutes of it, and then we'll move on. But some of this from the few clips that I've seen is batshit, just completely batshit. And the fact that Tucker goes along with it really, in my mind, reduces his credibility even further. So without further ado, the two crazies.
Deep. And so, and I mean that, and you're about to see that. So it is with great gratitude that I introduce, ladies and gentlemen, Roseanne Barr.
Thank you guys so much. So nice to see you. Thank you, Tucker, for having me.
Oh, I feel blessed to have you.
Oh, you're so sweet. That movie looks fantastic,
Does, yeah.
doesn't it? James O'Keefe's
Well, it
movie.
is fantastic. I mean, the guy's honest and brave. It's not, being a reporter is not super complicated. It's not building a supercomputer even.
Yeah, it's not building a supercomputer. You're right, Tucker. The insight already in this is just magnificent. It is. Being a journalist and being a reporter is not building a supercomputer. Now, make sure you guys put that in your notes. You're going to want to save that for later. I don't know where you're going to use that in life, but that's going to be good information someday. I promise you. Guaranteed.
Taking apart your microwave. It's just like, be honest. And he is.
Nailed it. As you can hear from the huge applause from the crowd.
But he's like one of the only ones.
Yeah, but that takes a certain soul.
Yes, it does. It does take a certain.
And I didn't just come up with that word because somebody in the audience yelled it. That was what I was going to say anyway.
Soul.
I love you too.
So let
I can't even take her seriously. I'm
me
sorry.
ask you. I'm always interested. Well, you just said it yourself. Like, why, in a world full of reporters, is James O'Keefe the only one telling us what's actually happening to the country our ancestors?
What is this, a James O'Keefe love fest? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Let's see if we can get to the juicy bits. And play. And play. There we go.
Like I could take care of myself. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking like, well, who knows what they're going to shut down or take away from us next, but I can always go out.
Right. As example, as you can see by the microphone that I'm holding on this stage with this big audience and the cameras that are now filming us as I sit next to Tucker Carlson, one of the biggest personalities that has come out of Fox News. Clearly we're being shut down. We're being censored. There's no more free speech. But can you point that camera? Is that camera? Make sure, is the mic loud enough? Make sure the mic's loud enough. I think the two cameras should be, let me get the three other cameras on this one. Is this going out over the airwaves? Make sure this is going out over the airwaves because we're being censored. I can these people.
Shoot myself a deer if I have to,
I'm sorry, what? Hit me with that one more time, baby.
Can like, well, who knows what they're going to shut down or take away from us next, but I can always go out and shoot myself a deer if I have to.
And the train has just veered off the tracks. Here we go.
It was awesome.
Hey, man.
Yes, James O'Keefe is the douchebag from Project Veritas. Correct. You're absolutely correct, chat. He is that douchebag. That is the same douchebag that we are now talking about. The douchebag from Project Veritas with the other douches from Project Veritas. Yes, that douche.
And
Plus, I thought, well, you might as well do it once. I always want to do something once in my life, so I could say I had the experience,
Is that what happened with the national anthem, Roseanne? Is that you just had to have that experience of jacking up our country's national anthem as you spit on the fucking baseball field?
Like running for president and stuff, I did that.
How'd that go? How did that go for you?
That was an experience. And,
And a waste of money.
I've done a lot of really different kind of things.
When you ran for president, did you refuse to give interviews?
I know that's about Kamala.
No, I love giving interviews. You know why? Because I knew what I was going to say and I had ideas.
You did have ideas. They were straight out of the loony bin, but ideas nonetheless.
Unlike.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. Both Democratic and Republican politicians ignored the climate crisis for 30 years. Some would, hold on, let me put it on the screen so I can see it. Some would even say more like 60 years. These storms are the wages of their ignorance, all of the lust for petroleum industry money. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. It has been largely ignored. We got a lot of talk, really. We got a lot of talk. And that, I mean, now that you bring that up, did anybody else hear about the climate protester, the girl that got 2 years in prison for throwing tomato soup on the $90 million Vincent van Gogh painting? Can I just say good riddance, good peace, good bye? Do the 2 years. That's your problem. I don't see what the fuck desecrating priceless works of art and artifacts that depict thousands of years of our world's history has anything to do with saving the planet. Like, why are we destroying the artifacts and the priceless artworks of the people on the planet that we're trying to save? Makes absolutely no sense to me. Not only that, but blocking the streets and roads of people trying to get about their daily business, trying to go to work, ambulances trying to transport people and go to different emergency calls. What the fuck that has to do with saving the planet? I don't know. So if you do that and somebody happens to arrest you or somebody happens to get a little fucking pissed off that you're doing it, you put yourself in that position, because I believe in saving this planet. I believe in doing the right thing. I believe in climate change. I know it's real. That doesn't mean I'm going to go lay down in front of an ambulance. That doesn't mean I'm going to go throw fucking orange paint on Stonehenge, even though I believe it washed off. I don't think that was anything permanent. I'm not going to throw tomato sauce on a fucking Vincent van Gogh painting. I'm not going to go ruin the Mona Lisa so that we can fucking save the planet. So get your fucking head together, get your shit straight, because that's the shit that gets people against our cause and gets people pissed off and gets people so they don't even want to tune in or hear anything about it. If we do things that I understand with getting the word out and causing disruptions, but let's cause them in the right areas that gets people on our side and not against us. It's just, sorry, little fucking side note, little little sidetrack on that one, but I had to get that one out there.
She's nothing but a prostitute.
Right. So again, with the narrative, it seems more disgusting coming from a woman. You think women would have women's backs, but this is the whole she slept to where she was given. I don't know how you sleep to becoming a DA, because you still at some point have to do the job. I don't know how you sleep to become a senator, because at some point you still have to do the job. I don't know how you sleep your way to becoming vice president of the United States, because at some point you still have to do the job. But of course, why I'm trying to get into this, like they have an actual intellectual argument and I have something to decipher, is beyond me, and I do apologize.
And she blew her way to the middle. That's what I say. She did.
Nice.
She blew.
Nice, Roseanne. Nice. Real nice. Good one. And then of course, as you hear the crowd cheering and jeering and clapping, because they're all as fucking disgusting as this son of a bitch.
Blew her way to the middle. And that is insulting to us women who, like I said, it is so insulting to those women, like me, who were never asked to blow a guy for a promotion.
Jeez. Is there a reason for that, you think? I'm just gonna. Is there anything that we can? Is there a reason that we could point to? Is there? Let me rack my brain here. Is there something that we could point to? You know, like almost like a reason why somebody wouldn't want fellatio from Roseanne Barr. Is there? I don't know. I don't think so. Yes, and this does reek of jealousy, Doc Brandon. You're absolutely right. It does reek. But I'm not sure that anybody besides Tom Arnold is fucking drunk enough, high on coke enough, or smokes enough weed to want that fucking face anywhere near their crotch. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't mean to be demeaning, but I don't think she deserves any credit, any respect whatsoever in my book. And I do apologize if you think a different way.
Right, ladies?
And then you got fucking Tucker sitting there like chuckling to himself, like just ridiculous.
I can see why you're insulted. I get it.
Tucker, would you fuck her? I'm only asking questions. Just curious. Would you let Roseanne Barr go down there? Just curious. If not, hit the ones in the chat.
And we're supposed.
Yeah, where do you go from there? Awkward silence. Where do you take the conversation in front of this live audience after you've just, demeaning, degraded, and fucking in a misogynistic manner, in a sexualized manner, just totally disrespected the vice presidents of the United States of America? Where do you even take the conversation after that?
To be proud of that. I mean, we're supposed to go, oh, she's the first one. I mean, it's just such an insult.
It is. I mean, to think that we would respect her in any way, it is just so insulting. You want me to recognize that she's a female? You want me to recognize that she's an African American Indian? Oh my God, that is insulting. How dare you? Don't you know that she is brown? Good God, man.
Thing that they do is to insult and humiliate us. The women, first of all, they can't insult or humiliate us enough by telling us that if you got a penis, you're a better woman. That really
Said nobody ever.
pisses me off,
Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. And thank you for your services. Please tell Liz I said hello. You're the best. What a fucking guy that guy is. What a guy.
I mean, it is.
It makes me so mad.
It's mockery of you.
It is mockery and humiliation.
It is, which I'm sure you're not used to at all from your career, right? You've never been mocked or humiliated ever. Right?
It's blackface. It's woman.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go back on that one. What was that one? I'm sorry, Roseanne.
It makes me so mad. It's
mockery of you.
It is mockery and humiliation. It's blackface.
It's I don't. If you got something in the chat for that, throw it in there because I don't. She is black. Why would she doesn't need to do blackface? She's black.
It's woman face.
It's it's woman face. Oh God, man. It's woman face.
So when the little Bud Light
nothing nothing from Tucker on the woman face. I guess he's heard that before. He must know all about woman face, considering he wears one every single day.
Dude is telling you how hard it is to be a woman, which he's been for like a week. I mean,
you know what was disgusting about that we're going to
You're going to tell us, I'm afraid.
get into it, and you were getting into it. But, I've been involved in this fight for a really long time.
Really long time. Like a long, long, long time. Almost, people would say maybe too long.
And he wasn't just being a woman or a girl or any of that stuff. He was dressing up like an 8-year-old. Right? You saw.
Now, did I miss somewhere where she's like referencing somebody specific? This isn't important enough where I'm going to actually rewind to try to find out, but who is she referencing that's dressing up like an 8-year-old?
Right? I was irate.
How do you dress up like an 8-year-old? Anyway.
And then he would run in his bedroom with his teddy bears and stuff in that little girl's dress.
Is she talking about her son?
I mean, it was just pedophilia. It was normalizing pedophilia.
Okay, I'm going to guess she's not. Slacks, what's up, brother? Much love to you and Mel. Love to all my fellow Bryantologists. Appreciate you, my dude. Appreciate you, my dude. Fucking killer pics on your bikes there, Chief. I've always wanted a motorcycle, just never had the cojones. Never had the cojones because I'm about 99% sure I'd kill myself on one. But appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. And again, sorry if you're just joining us. This is Blunt Politics. I am Boston Brian. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share it. Make sure you're subscribing. A lot of people watch, don't subscribe. It's free to subscribe, I promise. That join button is where you start getting into like $1.99 to support the channel for a month. Literally, again, Snickers has gone up, I think, because now it really is like $3.50 for a fucking king size Snickers. So you get more value, I think, from 4 or 5 podcasts in a month for $1.99 than you would in a single king size Snickers that will just gonna make you feel like shit afterwards, even though it tastes so good. It's anyway. But yeah, please support the channel. It would be fantastic. Right now we're diving into a little bit of Tucker Carlson's conversation with Roseanne Barr. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, go here and there. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, obviously, because we got better things to get to. We have to get to Trump's rally in Wisconsin. We have to get to Trump's meeting, the stomach churning meeting he had with Volodymyr Zelenskyy. I have a couple questions on that one. I also understand it in some regard, but we'll discuss that. Let's just get through a few more of these crazy clips here.
And that is all they care about, that and killing babies. That's only 2 things they care about.
All righty. Didn't have to go far. Didn't have to go far, chat. I think we found it. Let me hit you with a little rewind on that one, and we'll hear it from the top.
And that is all they care about, that and killing babies. That's only 2 things they care about: normalizing pedophilia and killing babies. Which,
if in case you didn't know, is actually the bumper sticker that the Harris campaign has been selling recently. It's just, I think it just says "normalize pedophilia, kill babies" is the bumper sticker. You can also get that in t-shirt form. I think they have hoodies and non-hoodies. The hat is to be released. I think they're coming out with sneakers too. The Kill Baby sneakers, those are going to be fire. Those are going to be fucking fire. The Harris Walsh Kill Baby sneakers, soon to be on shelves in a store near you. So make sure you're looking out for that.
It's hard to argue with that. I mean, if
it is. Oh, do you think, all right, the words that were spoken were the Democrats like to normalize pedophilia, even though that we know every story that we hear of, we see that picture of the fat white male ends up being a parishioner, somehow working in the church, or a fucking youth pastor, or somehow working with, what do they call them? Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or something fucking crazy like that. Always end up being Republican. Just weird how that happens. But anyway, the words were Democrats normalize pedophilia and killing babies, right? And then Tucker Carlson's response to that is, it's hard to argue with that. It's hard. Is it though? Pretty sure all you got to do is tune into one episode of Blunt Politics, and you'll find at least, I'm going to say, 5, 6, 7 examples of how that isn't that hard to dispute. Maybe even more per episode.
Those
good value for $1.99 a month to become a channel member. I do say so.
clearly are their priorities. I mean, but the thing that both have in common is the destruction of innocence.
Absolutely. That's where the devil gets his power.
Tell me what you mean.
Please do go on.
Well, the destruction of everything decent, good, and innocent. He loves nothing more than when we, people give him the power by
He being who? Oh, the devil?
destroying it. Then he owns them. He owns the people who do that in his name. And, they worship Satan. And I mean, people are always going, oh,
Hail Satan.
Roseanne, you're so crazy. But they do. They worship Satan just
Hail Satan.
like we worship God, only I think they're more
I don't know. Somebody said she's pretending. Handy girl. I don't know if you can pretend to be this fucked up. Honestly, I don't know. That we all know that Roseanne's not that good of an actor. Okay. She's just never been that good of an actor. So it's hard for me to say that this is an act somehow, because this is just years of continued and fucking prolonged crazy batshit lunacy that would be hard to fake for even the best fucking actor out there. I think so. I don't know.
Whatever the word is, devout than we are. They're way more devout than we are. They never go a day without worshiping at the altar of the devil.
Hail Satan.
And doing his bidding. We'll forget about God when we go and we only turn to God when, we're having troubles or something.
Why bother to air this crap, says Robert Petrick. Well, I'd like to say that these two people, even though fucking, blatantly and obviously crazy to us, are huge on the Republican side, are huge on the conservative movement and the MAGA movement right now. Tucker Carlson's about as big as they get over there. Anything he says goes. He's got connections to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. He's got connections to world leaders in foreign nations that are not so fucking friendly to us, as seen by his trip to Russia, as seen by his trips to what the fuck, the state that he loves going to there. I'll think of it in a second. But, he also loves going to other authoritarian regimes and sucking up to their ass. And Roseanne has what has come out to be, for at least Republicans and conservatives in the MAGA movements, a somewhat popular podcast on Rumble that says ridiculous shit. So, yes, this is what you're going to get if you vote for Republicans, if you vote for Donald Trump. This is what is going to become mainstream shit. Okay, this is what is going to become popular, even more popular, even more integrated into society. This fucking ridiculousness. So that's why I'm airing it, and I'll only air it for a couple more minutes. Believe me, I'm not going to cover it all. It's only been a fucking few minutes anyway, and then we'll move on. But I think it's very important for people to see that this is what the other side listens to. This is what the other side believes. Because not only is she saying it, but you hear the people in the background. You hear the fans in the crowd cheering for it. That's the problem.
Or when we feel bad, but those guys are at it 24/7. And that's when you ask me what's going on in the world. That is exactly what I think is going on in the world. It's a big old war. It's a war between good and evil. And, you've got two choices.
You're right. It is, BJ. It is sad. It is very sad that not only is this being platformed or the fact that it's so popular, but the fact that, these people don't honestly get the help that they need, because people aren't telling them the shit that they're saying and doing is beyond insane, right? So these people should be talking to therapists and, getting fucking talking to psychologists and psychiatrists and getting help for, whatever is going on to that allow them to believe this shit or get manipulated by people that to lead them so far down rabbit holes like this. And when people keep telling them that they're right and people keep platforming them and paying them exorbitant amount of money, that just gives them absolutely no reason to change their ways, to change their rhetoric. And again, Roseanne been to Mar-a-Lago many times. We've seen her do multiple videos with Donald Trump and for Donald Trump. So don't get it fucking twisted. We all know the relationship between Donald Trump and fucking Tucker Carlson. So this is a one-to-one connection between who you're going to vote for in November and what the fuck you're going to get.
Is who you're going to serve. You're going to, like that Bob Dylan song, you're going to serve somebody. It may be the devil or it may be the Lord, but you're going to have to serve somebody. So I always say, choose wisely. This is the time to choose wisely.
Don't bring Bob into this, by the way. Don't fucking bring Bob into this.
And a lot of people, they're on the fence because they, they're like, well, this doesn't involve me or I don't want to get involved. But the thing is that they are choosing to be with the devil by doing that. And they're going to pay for it too.
What do you mean? So you're saying that the people through whom evil flows are destroyed by evil?
Yeah, the people who do evil are destroyed.
All right, I'm done with this one. Why don't we do this? I think what's his face is having. Let's take a peek into here, see what's going on, see what craziness. So this is Trump. What? Your browser has lost connection to your screen share audio. Try to share your screen again. All right, hold on. Share screen. See if this works. Can you hear it? Let me know if you can hear the clip.
I surrender must never be spoken. These are beautiful signs, all honoring our history as a free nation, a constitutional republic. Freedom at all costs has been the call from the founding.
Can you hear that clip? Anybody? Everybody, Tobias, yes. BJ, yes. Michael, I hear it. All right, good. I don't know. For some reason, I got a notification saying that it lost connection with the audio. I never really seen that pop up before, so I wasn't sure. All right, I just wanted to check in. Let's see what kind of crowds are amassing at the Donald Trump rally in Pennsylvania. I think he's in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Nation of America installed into the hearts of its youth.
Look at that. Look at the crowds there. Whoo! Did they call in extra security? And I know it's early. I don't think Trump speaks till, I think, 2:00.
To ensure a future for those who wish to call freedom home. There's no more beautiful, better words. And earlier in the
I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Anyway, let's get into, and I don't care. I want to just do it from here. Why don't we just do it to here? I want to take a look at a few clips from something that was very fucking painful for me to watch. And for anybody that supports Ukraine, I'm sure it was extremely painful for you to watch as well. Because obviously we know Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy was on a trip to the United States to deliver what was his plan of victory. Met with Kamala Harris, met with, I'm sure, several other important people and organizations. But also on his docket was a meeting with Donald Trump. Now, I just want to preface this whole thing by saying, I understand that Volodymyr Zelenskyy has to hedge his bets, and it's the fault of the United States citizen. It's our fault that this fucking race is as close as it is, which then forces Zelenskyy to have to hedge his bets, right? So he has to maintain a good relationship no matter who wins this election coming up in November, because his country, his people are more important than who wins this election, honestly. And as long as he can maintain the flow of weapons, ammunition, and support for his people, that's what he's most worried about. Right. So I understand that he has to maintain at least a mutual relationship with Donald Trump just in case. Now, do I think that can be done without actually meeting face to face and having to go to Donald Trump's shitty fucking building like he's some goddamn king? I believe yes. I don't really see why it was made into such a fucking a media fanfare hoopla event. I don't see why it couldn't have been. I don't know. It sticks. I got a chip on my shoulder about the whole fucking thing. I understand it on one hand, and it pisses me off on another. And I'm just trying to melt those two together to come up with some, some coherent opinion about this whole thing, and it's tough for me to do. I think it could have been maybe like a behind doors meeting somewhere where it was, I don't know. Just tell me what you think in the chat about it. Let's see if we can get into at least a couple clips of these. Let's see. Let's see what this one is.
Emergency crew after an overnight Russian attack in Zaporizhia, Ukraine, when Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy met with former President Donald Trump in New York Friday. In response to VOA's question, Trump repeated his claim he will quickly end the war in Ukraine if elected.
I mean, this is just a tough sight to see. It really is just a tough sight to see for me, especially considering that this week and in just the recent weeks, Donald Trump has gone into some of the most egregious, most blatant, most prolonged segments of Russian propaganda at his rallies, in his speeches that I have seen him go into since he started this whole political fucking fanfare, at least since he complimented Vladimir Putin over, I believe it was Obama at the time. I think he said that Putin was doing a better job than Obama, or that Putin got a better side of the deal, something like that. He got the best of Obama. So this, in the last couple of speeches, in the last couple of weeks, has been some of the most blatant propaganda, talking about how all Ukrainian cities are in ruins except for Kyiv, which is bullshit. Talking about how the Ukrainian people have lost their heritage, have lost their will to fight. Both fucking points, absolute fucking nonsense. That you cannot kill heritage, okay? You cannot fucking kill the Ukrainians' will to fight in this situation. They're talking about how somebody just told me the other day that Russia was built to fight. They beat Hitler. They beat Napoleon. First of all, the weather beat Napoleon. Okay, and a combined arms effort never seen before in this planet's history is responsible for taking out Hitler and the Nazis. Okay, because if it wasn't for the United States and their lend-lease and giving fucking Russia trucks, they would have never stayed alive. And if it wasn't for the Allied effort, UK, Belgium, the entirety of the Allied effort in response on the other side, taking half of the German army to fight on the Western Front, to alleviate the Eastern Front, which allowed the Russians to then make their push, and obviously their huge advantage as far as numbers and manpower overpowered them. But yes, but to say that you were told the other day, like somebody had to tell you that Hitler lost World War II, somebody had to tell you that Napoleon lost trying to get across Russia. I mean, the whole thing is fucking crazy to me. And I know this trip was probably planned well in advance of Donald Trump saying this, but you know that it was tough for Zelenskyy to stand next to this motherfucker.
I have a very good relationship, and I also have a very good relationship, as you know, with President Putin. And I think if we win, I think we
again. He's standing next to the Ukrainian president, who has his people being slaughtered on the daily by Putin, right? And his army and his forces. And he's going to stand there and try and tout his great fucking relationship with Vladimir Putin while he's standing next to Zelenskyy. His lack of understanding and knowledge of foreign diplomacy and geopolitical fucking circumstances is unmatched.
We're going to get it resolved very quickly.
Zelenskyy admitted he cannot
Again, no plan. Zero plan.
Win against Russia before the U.S. presidential election in November.
We understand that after November, we have to decide, and we hope that the strength of the United States will be very strong, and we count on it. That's why
he hopes that the United States will be very strong, and they're counting on the support. Again, just generalized statements that not only, which are true, but again, not much enthusiasm put behind them. I can tell you that much.
Decided to meet with both candidates with all honor to them.
Zelenskyy met with Vice President Kamala Harris, the Democratic presidential nominee, in Washington Thursday. Unlike Trump, who is pushing for Kyiv to strike a deal with Moscow, she underscored that it is up to Ukraine to decide how the war will end.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not on us. The same thing in Gaza and what's going on, with The killing of the Hezbollah leader, both Hezbollah leaders. Isn't that crazy? They took out two. Not only did they took out Nasrallah, but they took out his fucking the person that was put in charge after that, which is crazy. So they've taken out two in what, 2 days, 3 days, the IDF. So not obviously, I'm no fan of the IDF, but credit where credit is due. And unfortunately, on the flip side of that is, do you look at it as a war crime because innocent civilians were killed in the process? Again, I don't like it or consider it anything but a war crime when the United States takes out innocent civilians in the process of taking out a high value target or something like that. I don't, I think we have the technology and the armaments to be able to, minimize almost entirely innocent civilian casualties at this point. I mean, if we can take out somebody standing on his balcony with a fucking missile that has no explosives, that literally just has blades on it, that rip shit to fucking shreds, but damages and harms nobody else around, we have the technology to do it. So there's two sides to the coin. Again, the Hezbollah, no friends of ours, no tears are being shed for the killing of the man, but it's obviously unfortunate to see the killing of innocent civilians anywhere in the world. So what's going on in Lebanon? And obviously I think there's reports from Haaretz that the IDF has already started some engagements, some on the ground engagements encroaching on the Lebanon border. And so we're obviously going to keep an eye on that. But lots happening, a lot to think about. But we can't just tell other countries what to do. I mean, we can enforce and impose our will wherever we may, as far as giving weapons or money or aid. But as far as when it comes down to actually signing the deal and making the decision to what they're going to do and maybe what territories not to give up or to give up, that goes down to the leaders and the people of Ukraine.
I will continue to stand with Ukraine, and I will work to ensure Ukraine prevails in this war.
Without mentioning names, Harris criticized Trump, who often boasts of his relations with Putin, by saying
he did it when he was standing next to fucking Zelenskyy, right? I mean, I don't know if I can find it. Let me see if I'll play this if I can find it. But if I can, in his last couple of speeches, I have the video here. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. I'll let this play. Well, let's see if I can find
saying that calls for Ukraine to end the war by ceding territory to Russia were, quote, dangerous and unacceptable. Tensions have been brewing between Trump and Zelenskyy after the Ukrainian president recently rebuked Trump's claims he can quickly end the war.
The president of Ukraine.
Yeah, and on this meeting, Zelenskyy also extended once again an offer to Trump to go over to Ukraine to actually see and fucking feel and experience all this shit that he's fucking trying to talk about without ever seeing it, or without even experiencing it firsthand, without having firsthand knowledge of what's actually going on over there, what cities are in ruins, what cities aren't in ruins, the will of the people. If he went over there and he saw the will and the fight that is in the Ukrainian people, I guarantee he wouldn't come back and say they lost their heritage. But again, Donald Trump will never take him up on that fucking offer. It will never fucking happen. He's going to stand in the background, stand in the shadows, and fucking chirp like a little bitch because he has fucking bone spurs. Because that's what he does.
Ukraine is in our country, and he's making little nasty aspersions toward your favorite president, me.
I believe this is the day, either the day before or the day of his meeting with Zelenskyy. This is how he's talking, right? So obviously we have to expect that Zelenskyy saw these clips and moments because he has advisors. He has people that I'm sure are feeding him the information in what these two candidates are saying, both Harris and Trump, about him, the Ukrainian situation, the people. So you can be damn sure that he got this. He got this clip.
Earlier this week, Trump blamed Zelenskyy and the Biden administration.
I know he doesn't have bone spurs. Of course, he doesn't have fucking bone spurs. It was a joke because that's the excuse that he used to get out of Vietnam.
For prolonging the war that followed Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, saying the United States could have made a deal instead of supporting Ukraine with weapons. Trump's claims created further anxiety not only in Kyiv but also in some European capitals.
They're very attuned to signs that somehow Washington will take a very different tack.
Let me see. There's a few other clips too of the two meeting. I want to see if I can find those. Ba-dum-bum. Maybe let's do this one. Just the whole clip. Let's see. This might be the whole clip.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have the president with us. And he's been through a lot. He's been through a tremendous amount, like probably nobody else, almost nobody else in history, if you really get right down to it. And we're going to have a discussion.
No, I'm no. Funny enough, didn't Hal just have a body language expert on his show the other day? I believe he did. I mean, I think it would be a clip here that I'd be interested in hearing the gentleman's thoughts on Zelensky's body language, Trump's body language, the people in the background. I mean, I don't know what else they look at. I'm no body language expert, but clearly Zelensky not too overly enthusiastic on being there. I think this is a get in, get out, say what you need to do, and make it seem like you've hit all the stops on your trip. You know what I mean? Because he's got to prove to the Ukrainian people too that he's willing to do whatever it takes to save his country, to save his people, right? So he can't just not talk to Donald Trump or not have a relationship with Donald Trump, because his people may see that as, maybe there is an out there, and that if you're not exploring every possibility, then you're not doing your job, type of thing. So again, there's lots of sides to this that you have to understand. It's very complex, it's very complicated, it's very nuanced. It's not like this is right, this is wrong type of thing. There's a lot of moving parts.
See what we can come up with, but great honor.
And thank you to everybody that's liked, shared, subscribed, anybody that super chat or sent a super sticker, became a channel member, gifted memberships. I do recognize everybody that does that at the end of the show. I want to make sure that I do recognize everybody that contributes, because I think it's important. Also, the interaction between you guys and myself. I think that's what makes these shows so enjoyable, because you can literally say something and I can react to it in real time. You can contribute to the show in real time and then get your due praise and recognition for that. So thank you to everybody that's done so. And again, make sure you're getting out to vote. Make sure you're getting registered to vote. Make sure you have a plan to vote. If you don't drive, make sure you have a plan for a ride. Make sure you know where you're voting. Make sure if you're mailing in your vote, every goddamn line on that fucking thing is filled out correctly. Do it slowly and methodically. Please know the dates that you have to have your mail-in votes in by. Know the dates that you have to have the in-person, early voting stuff in by. Please make sure this is all important. And if you've moved recently, if you've moved state, definitely make sure that you're registered to vote. If you've moved anywhere in state, make sure, double check that you haven't been thrown off any of the voter rolls. Make sure you're registered in the new town. If you haven't moved or anything and you still 100% think that you're registered to vote, check to make sure you're registered to vote. That way you are 100% positive that you are, and they can't give you any shit, and there's no excuse for you not to cast your vote that day. So please, it's important. But you can pick up shirts like this and other designs with the mental health, single moms, Ukraine. Again, any shirts over and above the price of the shirt, any profit goes directly to United 24, which is Volodymyr Zelensky's fund. So obviously an accredited, reputable fund that goes directly to help the Ukrainian people. So we're doing what we can here at Blunt Politics. I know it's a small channel. We're trying to get to, I think, 8,000 at this point. We're creeping towards 10,000. I know the change in the show times is kind of throwing a loop and everything, but we'll get back to that. And again, I'm trying to get to 2 permanent shows every week. Coming soon would be fantastic. I'm hoping, honestly, this to be either this week or the next week to be the last week that we do it on Sundays at this time. That way, the West Coasters don't have to wake up early, and we just have a more permanent show time that you guys know, and you don't have to guess when I'm going to be on, that type of stuff. So I do appreciate it, but let's continue. I just want to hear the end of this one, and then we'll get into I want to check in on Trump's ridiculous rally that he had. We have to check in on it.
Honored to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thanks so much for this meeting. 5 years passed.
Yeah.
So we had meeting again here in New York. in September, and now there are a lot of challenges in Ukraine, the United States, and of course I want to discuss with you. I think where we are together, I think we have a common view that the war in Ukraine has to be stopped and Putin can't win, and Ukrainians have to prevail. And I want to discuss with you the details of our plan of victory.
I mean, I don't think I've ever heard the words "Putin can't win" come out of Donald Trump's mouth. Just to be fair, not that I'm trying to give Zelenskyy a hard time or anything, but I'm rather certain that the words "Putin can't win" or it would be very bad if Russia. What in the motherfuck was that? Good God Almighty! Just never fails. Never fucking fails. My internet totally just went out on everything that I had for I don't know, fucking however long that was. I don't ask me. Beyond my hands, beyond my control. I don't just nothing I can do. My modem went out. I don't if it was me. I don't know if they're doing testing in the area, and now we're disconnected from Instagram. So things are going good. How's things with you? All right, that's good. All right, yeah, we're back. We're back though. So make sure you like the stream again if you haven't. Make sure you share it out, please, in case people left and don't know that we're back. But yes, I am back. I do apologize for that. I don't know what was going on. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. If I had any idea, I would tell you, but I don't. You know what I mean? So give me a break. But we're back. Let's hop into this. Now, before we get into the Trump speech and rally or whatever the fuck you want to call it, I have to show you this. I do have to show you this. And I do apologize. It's a little dry because it's a dossier. But we at Blunt Politics and many other people have managed to get our grubby little fucking fingers on the JD Vance dossier that was leaked. And, this is what the Trump administration, the Trump campaign put together for JD Vance. And somehow after this, still decided to make this guy the VP pick. Now, let's see. What's the best way for me to do this where you can see it? Let's see here. Can I move it over? I cannot move it over. Let's see if I can make myself smaller. That would be great. Maybe this one. Yeah. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is exactly how you do not do politics. Okay. So, if you get anything that even remotely resembles anything that's said in this dossier about a candidate, a person that you're trying to choose, maybe for a running mate or some high level position, this is the exact thing that would tell you, okay, we do not pick that one. That guy cannot be anywhere near our campaign. But somehow, some way, and I think his name is Peter Thiel. Somehow, some way, and I think his name is Peter Thiel. Oh, somehow, some way, got $1 billion fucking dollars. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm only going to cover briefly just what's going on because it doesn't take long for you to realize, okay, this guy, not so much fraud campaign. So this is just the first few fucking pages, right? So I'm on page 3. Page 3, Vance's anti-Trump record and establishments, and we'll get to page 71, right? As early as August 2016, Vance had announced his intentions to vote third party as opposed to voting for Donald Trump. Vance was accused of, quote, effectively voting for Hillary Clinton. During the campaign and after the election, Vance doubted Trump's ability to be effective in office. Vance criticized Trump's statements and policy proposals. Vance said Trump's election would be terrible for the country. Vance compared Trump to heroin and mocked MAGA as a quick high. Vance called Trump dangerous on numerous occasions. Vance said voters were not attached to Trump and he would get crushed. Like, this is page fucking 3, people. Vance wrote that he loathes Trump and Trump's obvious personal character flaws. Vance said he fought against Trump. Vance said he was a bad candidate in 2016. Vance said we have to reject the rhetoric of Trump. After the 2016 election, Vance said he did not think that Trump fully appreciated the complexity of what's going on. Vance criticized Trump for creating finger pointing among the white working class. Like, this is fucking page 4, people. This is page fucking 4. It's not even a page yet, actually. It's the fucking literally the fucking index, right? This is just literally the table of contents. All right. So let's go to 71. Enter. All right. So here we got and this has everything. This has his financial records. This has his, his where he lives, his house records, his military records, earned incomes, liabilities, his positions, his agreements. This is where the anti-Trump record and establishment ties start, right? So, these are basically just the ones that I would just read, and they'd give you where he said it, the date he said it. This was a certain amount of confidence. There was almost this was almost an arrogance that I had. So I didn't vote for Trump or Hillary, where I was almost saying, look, I told you so. Hillary is going to win. We shouldn't have nominated Trump in the first place. It just shows in some ways I was in my own bubble and I'm guilty of the same things that I criticize the elite of being guilty of. Vance, I am pessimistic that you can flip to trades. The trade switch and make all these steel jobs come back to Middletown after Trump said he probably could make all the steel jobs come back to Middletown. Let's see here. Vance was accused of effectively voting for Hillary Clinton. Like I said, he doubts Trump's ability to be in office. I mean, this thing goes on and 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 on. Yeah, ready? Just an example. I'll stop somewhere. Vance, a lot of people think Trump is just the first to appeal to the racism and xenophobia that were already there, but I think he's making the problem worse. Finally, what did watching Donald Trump's speech last night make you think about his fall campaign and future of the country? Well, I think the speech itself was a perfect microcosm of why I love and am terrified of Donald Trump. Wait, what was this afterwards? On the one hand, he criticized the elites actually acknowledges hurt so many working class voters after so many years the Republican politicians refusing to even talk about the factory closures. Trump's message is an oasis in the desert, but of course he spent way too much time appealing. Oh, so this must be recent. Oh no, that was 2016. So did he say good things and bad things about him? I forget, because I thought he only said bad things about him. They're willing to listen to Trump about rapist immigrants and banning all Muslims because other parts of his message are clearly legitimate. A lot of people think Trump is just the first to appeal to racism and xenophobia that were already there, but I think he's making the problem worse. Trump, tribune of a poor white person. Vance, 2016, racism is definitely a part of Trump's phenomenon, and I think to his great discredit, Trump has not disavowed the David Dukes of the world as strongly as he should. Vance said he opposed Trump since Trump was encouraging his base to think of their fellow citizens as scapegoats for all of their problems. He's taking that significant portion of the white working class poor who are not explicitly racist and pulling them in a more racist direction. These are all things, like, literally. Again, it blows my motherfucking mind, right? And there has to be some sort of backdoor agenda because it doesn't make sense any other way. There's no way that Trump, with the fucking ego that he has, could be told even a fucking minute amount of this shit that JD Vance has said about him, right? No matter, I mean, I know he says, I don't care what you said about me in the past as long as you kiss my ass now. But I don't think that's true. I think he definitely absolutely remembers. He definitely absolutely cares. He might let you in the circle as long as you're, he might let you go out and tout him as long as you're, saying good things about him. But the moment that you even slip up a little bit, believe me, he's going to remember that time that you fucking, whatever happened years ago or whatever the situation was. He's definitely going to fucking remember that one. I can guarantee it. So, I mean, how you could possibly in a million years make that person your vice president pick and half of that shit's already publicly known anyway, right? I mean, none of that shit's really, as far as what JD Vance said is too much of a secret. They're all in either books or interviews or TV appearances or something like that. So a lot of that shit is shit that we knew he said. There's really not all right. Case in point, it's fucking ridiculous. It's JD Vance as Donald Trump's running mate. It clearly depicts and shows the incompetence of the Trump campaign. Basically, that's just what it is. So let's take a look at this. Let's see if I can find the craziness that is Donald Trump's rally. RSBN. Because guys, he's an expert on weapons now. He's an expert on weapons now. MK-47's especially MK-47's. All right, let's see here. I'll go to videos so I don't have to go through the whole live. And no, I don't want the one here. How long is this one? There he is. All right, so some nasty things said in this, some ridiculous things said in this, some fucking batshit crazy things said in this, and some Russian propaganda said in this. We'll get through as much as we possibly can here. Let's see if I can fast forward just a touch. No, I'm not going to listen to his song. And I want to. Oh, so how do you pronounce that? Prairie du Chien? Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin? I'm dying to hear him pronounce that. Here we go. There's millions of people outside. Millions. Oh man, why does he just every time have to say a number that is clearly ridiculous and makes absolutely no sense? Like at some point, you got to make it believable, buddy. Please, you got to make it believable. And I'm trying to pick a way where I can play this and actually skip around. How does that look for you guys? Oh no, I'm not even sure. All right. Okay. Don't get your fucking panties in an uproar. Don't get your panties in uproar. All you did is miss the beginning of Trump's speech. Okay, so here we go. Don't get fucking mad at me. Don't get mad at me. All right, here we go. Sorry, that's my fault. Basically, all he did is nothing so far. So you missed absolutely nothing.
This went almost all the way to the airport, and looked like when Lindbergh landed.
All right, I'll let you hear his 50,000 people are outside, because he said 50,000 people are outside.
So we were going to have a thing outside someplace in an area where we could have held the people.
Probably an airport or a cow field or somebody's farm, you know.
And I would say, what do you think, 40, 50,000 people at least?
At least 50,000 people outside of this. There's only 2,000 people in here somehow, but at least 100 million, trillion, zillion outside.
Out there. This went almost all the way to the airport.
Almost. This went all the way to the airport.
And looked like when Lindbergh landed in New York. Do you remember that? He had all the way, the Broadway, the way they used to do it. And this looked like it, but thousands and thousands of people, and they all could have had a lot of fun. Instead, now they're probably leaving and walking back home, because we have a nice little room that probably holds 1,500, 2,000, maybe less. And outside you have 40, 50,000 people.
They're always outside trying to get in. It just never fails with this guy. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It never fucking fails.
People.
Good call, Vinny. Good call. He was a fucking anti-Semite himself, wasn't he? If I do remember correctly, a racist bastard. Him, Henry Ford. There was a few of them back then. The couple of high-profile assholes that were Hitler, apologists and wanted to appease in all ways that they possibly could. Isolationists. There's a lot of words that you can call them, and we all know how that worked out for them. We do, not so well,
because the administration couldn't give us the Secret Service necessary, because they're guarding the arraignment.
Isn't this literally after his recent speeches giving credit to both Republicans and Democrats for approving more funding for Secret Service protection for him? That was literally I think that was in his last speech. So now all of a sudden we're back to this.
Indian president.
You're in a fucking place that holds 1,500 people, buddy. Relax. I think they got it covered.
Who's looking to kill Trump? Can you believe it? No, we could add 30,000 for it. When you see it, it's unusual that you see something like that. Yeah, we'll call in the National Guard. That's a very good. He's a smart guy. Stand up. I want to see what that guy. Very smart. He's a very good idea. They could have done that, come to think. But I think it's a disgrace. But nonetheless,
it is. Why protect any foreign dignitary, even if we get along or don't get along? They don't deserve any fucking protection, because what we definitely want to happen is the head of Iran or fucking Iraq or whatever foreign dignitary comes over there to have some issue or to be killed potentially in the United States, because that wouldn't be bad for geopolitics in any way, shape, or form, right? Dude, you gotta, whether we like them or not, they have to get protection. That's just how it goes.
38 days from now, we are going to win Wisconsin. We're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we are going to make America great again. Thank you.
Now, there's been a lot of debate and conversation about whether or not Trump was impaired, let's say, at his rally. I think it was the rally before this, the speech before this. I don't think it was this one. I could be wrong, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. But again, I think it was just a mixture or a different cocktail of the same things that he's been on, if and what he's on. Obviously, I'm no doctor, so I can't say, but it seemed to just be the normal, just a more exaggerated effect of the normal shit that we see. I mean, we've seen speeches of him slurring and stammering and like way worse than he was the other day. And again, I don't I think we'd hear many, many stories if Donald Trump actually did drink behind the scenes, and all these years was saying that he never had a drop. I think we'd hear those stories. I mean, we've heard stories about everything else, him shitting himself, the Adderall usage, that type of stuff. So all that's come out. If he was really a drinker behind the scenes, I think somehow we would have found that out by now. But, I think it was just maybe fatigue. Maybe he didn't eat, you know what I mean? And just, sometimes the medications you take can react in different ways, whether or not how tired you are or how much you've eaten that day or how hydrated you are, that type of stuff. So I think it was something more to do with that.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
But it has continued. I was the point of that whole, topic was it's continued because he has several incoherent moments in this speech, just from the 3 or 4 clips that I've seen.
Thank you, fellas. That's great. Great job. They're making your jobs much tougher, right? Your jobs. Oh, that's nice people looking. Oh, look at the people behind. Are they relatives of yours?
He's like the fucking dog in Up now. Oh, squirrel. He'll be trying to introduce somebody or talk about his campaign and, oh yeah, this is what we're going to do, folks. Okay, squirrel. You know what I mean? Like he's all over the fucking place now.
Yours, Chief? I don't think so.
Like in one of his other speeches, he's looking up at the fucking jumbotron, looking at his hairdo. Did you see that clip? Where he's like, yeah, who's that hands? I'm checking out, and he's fucking playing with his hair and shit. Like, this is a presidential campaign speech. Like 30 or 40 something days away from the fucking most important campaign, most important election. Like, good Lord almighty. Yeah, he's just doing the weave.
Wonderful.
He's just doing the weave.
Well, you got a lot of killers in our country. You saw that yesterday. Last night, after 4 straight years of obliterating our border, I watched this show that she put on. 4 years of the most incompetent border anywhere in the world in history. Kamala Harris traveled to the scene. In fact, she's.
And okay, all right. This is another thing I just have to get out my chest, and I'm not worried about getting through this whole thing, so don't worry about it. I know I keep stopping it, but Kamala Harris is obviously not immune to criticism herself, and I myself, speaking for myself, can just say that I do have a problem with this whole, just go down to the border for 20 minutes to get a picture thing. I do, and I'm not going to make too much of a fuss about it. But again, I'm not sitting. This isn't a show where we're gonna, put somebody on a pedestal or make somebody a king and not be able to criticize. Oh, thank you so much, Ricky, for the 10 gifted. How fucking nice of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. That's very nice. And anybody that receives a membership from Ricky, make sure you shoot her a thanks in the chat. That's very nice of her. Thank you so much. But what I was saying is, if you're going to go down to the border, meet with the right people, have substantial meetings, talk about ways that it can help. And I understand that Donald Trump and the Republicans have killed 2 attempts to help the border and fund, ICE in the border agents. I understand that. But if Kamala Harris is going to make this attempt to go down to the border, don't just make it a fucking photo shoot so that Fox News can rip on you for it. Don't just stay there for 20 minutes so Fox News can stay there for you. I mean, can rip on you for it. Go down there, have a substantial meeting with the people that are in charge down there. Do what needs to be done. Make it seem like I didn't like it. I think it was an easy opportunity that she gave to the right to say, oh, she just went down there for 20 minutes instead of having a substantial trip down to the border. And I know she's busy and she's got multiple other things to do, but I just think as big a topic as it is for the right to criticize immigration and the border, it would have done us, I think, more good to go down there and have, a couple hours with the leaders in that area, the officers that are in charge in that area, the people that are actually on the ground, because from what I saw, from what I read, she met with kind of more management people, the people that aren't really, hands-on, officers down there. So a few things that I can criticize. Again, not her fault specifically that the border has the issues that it does. There was both Senator Langford's attempt that Donald Trump basically told everybody to blame him for killing, which he then told Republicans to kill, which they did kill, which was a very conservative bill. Not anything in that for Democrats, really, to tell you the truth. It was a bigger win for Republicans, which makes it all the more curious and all the more obvious as to why they killed it, so that they could continue demonizing immigrants, so they could continue demonizing our border. even though the funding would have increased for ICE and Border Patrol in that bill. There was also an executive order, not an executive order, but a bill at the beginning of the Biden administration in which the Republicans killed as well. So not two things there. Not totally her fault, obviously. Not her fault that, that things have been happening for multiple years now to create the situation that is the immigration at our southern border. But again, I would rather like to see her go down there for some sort of substantial visit, not just a quick, in and out, take a picture at the border type of thing. That's just my opinion. Again, if you disagree, throw it in the chat. Disagreement is fine. I have absolutely no problem with it. Just keep it civil. Just keep it civil. I appreciate you guys. So let's get back into this asshole.
Stood near where I put up border wall. That was her backdrop. And in one of the most heinous crimes ever committed by any.
And again, Donald Trump now has, again, ramped up what he does now is to try to describe, these murders or any murder around the country that has to do with somebody with a Spanish sounding last name, with, somebody that sounds like they're from South or Central America, somebody that sounds like they maybe have a Haitian last name. He's going to describe those murders or whatever crime it is in the most brutal details, in the most descriptive manner to try to scare the shit out of the people he's talking to that he possibly can.
The administration in American history, that's what she did by allowing these millions of people, millions and millions of people to come through our border and make our civilization very unsafe. It's a civilization, very, very unsafe. It's a heritage. Border Czar Harris went to the border to lie in the most shameless and horrible way possible at the very site where she released so much suffering, misery, and death.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. The fact that she's down there personally letting people in is just asinine.
There's no greater act of disloyalty than to extinguish the sovereignty of your own nation.
Extinguish the sovereignty of your own nation is another basic way of saying poison in the blood of our country, or the great replacement theory, so to speak. So if you're ruining the heritage, you're replacing the white heritage in this country with immigrants of different heritage. You know what I mean? So that goes along with the whole replacement theory, which is clearly a white supremacist, a white nationalist talking point. Right there.
Right through your border. No matter what lies she tells, Kamala Harris can never be forgiven for her erasing our border, and she must never be allowed.
Erasing the border. So, again, what does it say? Although we know that's ridiculous. No border was erased. The fucking 50 miles of wall he put up is still up. The other wall that we have that's been there for years is still up. Nothing has been erased. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
To become president of the United States. She must never be allowed.
But what does it say that he's trying to say that the shit he built hundreds of miles of wall, he says to his, but it was easily taken down? It was easily erased. Like everything he did was easily trampled on in 2 days, and somehow he thinks that makes him a consequential president. In his words, his words.
And Wisconsin, you can't do it. Can't do it. What she's done is a total disqualifier. What she's done, and so much death has already taken place.
Oh, I wonder where
and
the
we
fly
have
came
some people
from.
up here. And
Water coming here is
a friend
dead.
of mine in particular who suffered greatly because of it.
Eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Data that was just released yesterday by ICE, and they've never released this before. They never talk about deaths and how many they talk about.
All right, so now he's going to go into the 600,000 people with criminal records, the 13,000 people that have convicted for murder. And listen, nobody wants anybody convicted of a crime like that. Anybody that's not legally supposed to, or that their records doesn't allow them to come into this country, should not be allowed into this country. But again, this all goes back to funding for the Border Patrol and ICE, right? So they can only have the resources to get somebody's background if they had the resources to do it at that moment. If they don't have it at that moment, they can't detain somebody for what they don't know, right? So they then release, and then if they then later find out about the person's criminal record in the country that they then came from, they then have to expend exorbitant amount of resources to try to then go find and capture, bring that person back, and then deport that person. That takes money, which would have come in the form of Senator Langford's bill, would have helped fund both agencies. So again, what they're crying about is something that would have been directly alleviated by Senator Langford's bill, or at least made a little bit easier to do. But again, nobody likes the fact that any of these people. But again, I would point out that if Donald Trump says 20 million immigrants have come across our border illegally, then 600,000 would be what, roughly 33 times less than the amount of people that come in. So if you compare that to the percentage of crime that white people commit, it's still at a lower rate, which we all know that immigrants commit crimes at a lower rate than U.S. citizens. So either way that you squeeze this, either way that you fucking pour this out, it makes absolutely no sense what he's saying.
About certain things, but they've never released this kind of information. But it was so bad, never done. But under Kamala Harris, more than 13,099 convicted murderers. So these are people that have gone through the system. They're convicted. They're in jails for life. Some are getting the death sentence.
It does not mean they're in jails for life, right? It's very, very plausible that somebody has been convicted of a low-level homicide, of let's say, vehicular manslaughter, served there 20 years, 25 years, or whatever, was released, but it still shows up on their record, right, that they've been convicted of that crime. Or even if they did whatever degree murder it was, and then they served there 40, 50 years, 30, whatever it may be, 25 years, they then do their time, they come out, try to make it to the United States to maybe have a better life and to maybe get away from the shit that they were living before. But that's still on their record, right? So that doesn't mean they're coming into this country to kill people, right? And I'm sure that's not all of them, but again, 13,000 out of what this guy says is 20 million, and we obviously know is somewhere closer to like what, 8 or 9 million. They say something around there, is still a very small percentage of these people. But I would obviously like to see anybody that it's not supposed to be in this country, whether it by their criminal record or, just having how many times they've been deported, whatever it may be. If they're not supposed to be here, I have absolutely no problem. But the resources need to be there for Border Patrol and ICE to do what they need to do to make sure that our country is safe and that these people are not getting in. Right. So if they had the resources to look it up at that moment for all the people that are coming in, then that would give them a better opportunity of not letting these people in our country.
Sentence. But instead of that, they've crossed our border. They've been taken out by their countries and set free into the United States of America. So they're free to kill again. Oh, they'll kill. These are killers. These are killers that at a level that nobody's ever seen. Not even your great law enforcement has ever seen people like this. They got a dose of it, though, recently.
Yes. Again, he's talking out of his ass. He has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. All he knows is that the more I scare these people into thinking that these people are violent criminals, the more chance they have of, being afraid and committing acts of violence and stuff like that. I don't even know if his brain takes it that far.
They got a dose of it. Their jobs have become a lot tougher. And you remember when they say, no, these are migrants.
Oh, sorry. Oh, what the hell is that?
Calling from a 212 area code.
How do I go back?
Oh, how you?
Let's see. Somehow I hit the wrong button. There we go. And we were, right here.
Petrified.
Sorry about that.
And their law enforcement is petrified. You have a sheriff and a deputy, or you have a small group, and you'll have a group of Venezuelan killers, street gangs.
Sam Cedar just wanted to say hello. I think he just wanted to pop in and say hello. I do apologize.
Occupying the town with MK-47's. I know that gun.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Wait, one more time on that one, sir. I'm just going to have you repeat that one because I know you're such an expert on guns and I am not. So if you could just please educate me as to the weaponry that these imaginary people taking over towns and cities all across the United States are using. Please, could you hook me up with that?
Group, and you'll have a group of Venezuelan killers, street gangs, occupying the town with MK-47's. I know that gun very well. I got to know it very well. I've become an expert on guns.
Oh man, that's rough. That's rough. For the moment where he tries to pull out the I'm an expert on guns, for him to have already just fucked up the easiest, most well-known, most well-distributed gun of all time, I think. Pretty fucking funny. Pretty fucking funny.
Quickly. My sons know guns. They couldn't believe what
they do, which is why they're now fucking squeezing their buttholes so tight and fucking clenching their jaws. The fact that you just called it an MK-47. Oh boy.
And you'll have a group of Venezuelan killers, street gangs, occupying the town with MK-47's. I know that gun very well. I got to.
Yes, it's a drop already. We got it. It's happening. Yep. There's no way I'm letting them slide on the MK-47.
The story they heard, the two stories they heard, actually. But I don't care because we're doing it for you. We're going to make our I don't care. I just say we got to do it.
Who's he looking at? Who's he keep turning around and fucking looking at? It seems a bit nervous almost.
Thank you.
This is great. This is great. I'm sorry. For somebody that's been watching this man since 2015 or 2016, every time he's opened his mouth, every speech he's given, every press conference, every video he's put out, to see the decline to become so apparent, in that I know that other people are now starting to notice, and I don't mean you guys. I know you guys have been well involved and well in tuned into Donald Trump's decline, but the people that are just like on the fringe of politics that, just carry on with their lives every single day, that kind of hear the news now and again, read the paper now and again, like it's now becoming I want to say, I know it started before the cats and the dogs things, but I have to say it started.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
The best part is fucking Kamala in the background. This is unbelievable. The best. Or maybe
they're just getting acclimated. You know what that means? Acclimated.
No, I don't. I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, there's a fly. Oh, I wonder where the fly came from.
Maybe Mike Pence's head.
People came in illegally from 168 different countries. Most people don't know there's that many countries. There's more than that in the world.
In the world. I like how we had to add "in the world," like we didn't already put that together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shut up.
I love that guy right in the front. He looks better than I do, and I think he's probably.
That's not hard to do. I gotta say it's not very high. That's not a high bar to set. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably a little older, right? Look at him. He looks fantastic. 4 years ago, I handed Kamala Harris the most secure border in U.S. history with the lowest illegal immigration on record.
Only took 1 million people dying. Only took 1 million.
In the words of former ICE director Tom Homan, Tom.
Yeah, we do know Tom Homan. He's the oh man, what's that project he worked on? It's got like a date after it. Oh, chat, help me out here. What's that project that everybody's talking about? It's got a date. Somehow it's not connected to Donald Trump yet. The guy that he's just about to praise right here, I think he's an author of, what's that called? Oh yeah, Project 2025. That one. The one that wants to completely overhaul our government with sycophants that will do the bidding of the president, regardless of what that bidding may sound like or look like. But yeah, Tom Homan, one of the main authors of Project 2025. Go ahead, Donald. You were saying about Tom?
President Trump was the greatest president in my lifetime by far. This country was never better off than when he was there. He was unprecedented in his success.
Yeah, maybe he was thinking of MK Ultra. It's the MK Ultra 47 or the MK-47 Ultra.
On the border, and it saved so many lives. He got it done. Likewise, the head of the National Border Patrol Council Art del Cuello.
Tell me it's the first time saying that name without telling me it's the first time saying that name. What was his last name?
Saved so many lives. He got it done. Likewise, the head of the National Border Patrol Council, Art del Cuello.
Del Cuello. One more time. I'm sorry. One more time. Art who?
It saved so many lives. He got it done. Likewise, the head of the National Border Patrol Council, Art del Cuello.
I got 100. I get 100 says that's not how that's pronounced. It is hard to talk when Putin's balls are in his mouth. It is. It's more of a gargle than it is anything. But you also have to do this. It's amazing Donald Trump doesn't continuously do this as he talks, because sometimes you gotta fondle. You gotta fondle. Yeah, our DeGuayo.
He's a great, incredible guy.
The incredible guy that I've never ever met.
He said of Kamala's visit to the border yesterday, I stood with.
Oh, you like my hat? Somebody said they like my hat. Forever Young. Yeah, this is official. This isn't official. I don't know if you can make out the writing. But this is an official straight from Ireland. It's the Orderland. I don't know if you can see that little Celtic. But yeah, just repping my heritage. You know what I mean? Donald Trump claims everybody's losing their heritage. I want to make sure that motherfucker knows I ain't losing mine. Ain't losing mine.
With President Trump when he actually went to the border to areas that are notorious for drug smuggling and human smuggling and are very dangerous. He stood there. He spoke to the agents for a long period of time. He's been speaking to the boot.
I'm dying to know when this part happens. I'm really only looking for
There's
this
a
part.
fly. Oh, I wonder where the fly came from.
Like the ultimate squirrel moment right there. Ultimate. I hope I catch it. We only have about 19 minutes left. Hopefully we get it.
Boots on the ground for 8 years and a lot. He stood there for over an hour in 110-degree temperatures with heat. It was a hot day, I will say, but the heat was crazy. But with families of victims and as a former president of completely opened up the border for 50,000 people. But maybe they have a little television set outside that they're watching.
Oh my God, he's still talking about the imaginary people outside. Like, yes, there was a few people lining the roadways at some of the fucking intersections. 50,000 people are not gathered outside of that fucking place hoping to get in. It's just not happening.
Yeah, but you have to take a look at this, please.
I know the importance of.
No, I'm not going to rep his propaganda. No. No. Oh my God. Tell me they put a commercial in the middle of his speech. Tell me I just caught it. Please tell me. What?
To stop the invasion.
Oh, Kamala, you're fired. But what's happening here? Is this a pause? I'm so confused. They just cut to a commercial right in the middle of his speech. This is what's going on. They just cut to a commercial in the middle of his speech. I told you RSBN was doing this. I told you they were doing this. I think I said this on Hal's show. I've never seen them do this. Just recently started. Watch. When we pick up Trump's speech again, he'll be in the middle of his sentence. I guarantee it. Ready? And I'll try to get it right on cue. All right, here he goes. Ready?
She
See?
is a disaster. And she's not going to ever do anything for the border.
Literally right in the middle of his fucking speech, they put in a commercial now for gold. They're getting a little desperate. I'm going to say they're getting a little desperate, folks.
And she didn't even want to get tough now, except her poll numbers were tanking. And by the way, we're leading in the polls. We're doing great. But you got...
No, not so much. Not so motherfucking much. Let's see here. We'll just go to, let's see what, just We'll just go to see what the national polls look like. Let's see. Share this tab instead, just so we can get an idea of what's going on. Who's ahead in the presidential polls? Okay. And Kamala Harris, 48.6. Donald Trump, 45.7. I'm going to say that 48.6 is higher than 45.7. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but my abacus is telling me that 48.6 is in fact higher. Let's see here. We got presidential general election 2024. This is averages. These are different pollsters here. We got Harris +3, Harris +6, Harris +6. Harris +2, +5, +7, +4, +5, +5, +3, +3, +21. That's an outlier, huh? I'll take that one. +7, +3, +5, +6, +6, even. Trump +1, even. +1, +4. So I'm going to say the aggregate there is telling me you're not doing so hot in the polls. Not that we're big on polls here at Blunt Politics, but you know, if you cite them, I'm going to pull them up. Just going to let you know. Back to this asshole.
Got to get out and vote. You know, this can only happen to me. I had to beat Biden. We were 21 points up after the debate. And
Whoa. What the fuck? Where was this imaginary 21-point lead coming into effect? Because as much as I recall, as bad as Biden did in that debate, the polls didn't really show the shift that Donald Trump thought it was going to, even though Biden did have one of the worst debates, in modern history. But the polls really didn't change all that much, if at all, really quickly after the polls. Definitely not 21 fucking points, I can tell you that much.
then I said, oh, I can't believe it. I think they're going to get him out. And then we had to start all over again with this one. She had a little honeymoon period, but people are now finding out.
They are finding out. They're finding out that they want hope, joy, optimism, as opposed to demonization, denigration, violence. Let's see here. Hitler's rhetoric, quoting Mein Kampf. I'd rather hope, joy, optimism. Moving our country ahead, giving people equal rights, making sure women have the right to choose what they want to do with their own bodies. People can love who they want, crazy shit like that.
She's not a smart person. And she has no idea what the hell she's doing. And she's going to be dealing with the smartest people. President Xi of China. When I think of smart, I think of President Xi because he kills so many people and he rules them all with an iron fist, which means he's a dictator. But I think he's smart because he's a dictator. And Xi, how do you think President Xi is looking? He's chopping. He's just grabbing.
He's chopping. He is chopping. I don't know what he's chopping. Broccoli? Wood? Onions? What's he chopping? Celery.
And he's so happy. He's grabbing his people all over the place.
I thought he was going to say something else there. I thought he was going to say he was grabbing something else. Sorry. Mine went to the gutter there. My apologies.
And watching the same kind of things you just watched, but even better. And we can't have this. Look, we had 4 years of incompetence. We can't have another 4 years of incompetence because we're not going to have a country.
We did. And those years were 2016 to 2020. Those are the years of incompetence. Just in case anybody's unclear on what years he's speaking about, it's 2016 to 2020. Play. And play. Play, not playing. Oh, the circle of death. It's the circle of death. I don't know what's going on. Do I have elevator music? Maybe I have some elevator music. Let's see here. No elevator music. I got this though. I got this.
He wanted to debate. If we didn't have a debate, he'd still be there. Can you imagine if we didn't have a debate? Why the hell did I debate him? You know what it means? Remain in Mexico. It's what it means. Release and canceled. Little things like the Safe Third Agreement, canceled Title 42, halted the removal of virtually all criminal aliens, ended all of our programs that we instituted.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you, brother. Frank's been here for 6 months, a member for 6 months, and you can be here for 6 months too. Sign up now. Below me is a join button. $1.99. Bust a buck. Try your luck. 4 or 5 shows a month. Come on, for $1.99. What's it gonna kill you? Can't kill you. Or as Donald Trump would like to say, what do you got to lose?
It's to stop child trafficking, which is at an all-time record now. She said last night that we all the sex slavery or just plain. What Kamala Harris has done to our border is a betrayal of every citizen. It's a betrayal of her oath.
So how long now has this been about the border, immigration, and demonizing, people coming here to seek a better life? And then just statistically speaking, obviously some of them are probably going to have past that are shady criminal records. I mean, that's what happens when you get millions of people. Some of them are going to be bad. The majority of them are going to be good. I can tell you that much. Just the way it works.
And it's a betrayal of the
What's up, OG Adam? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your services. Let's go.
The American nation. Not only must she be defeated, but in light of this news, Kamala Harris should immediately resign the vice presidency.
Resign the vice presidency.
And go home to California in disgrace.
He's scared. He is scared. He's pulling everything out of his bag. He's pulling the fucking demonization of immigrants. He's pulling the very descriptive and like almost brutalization of murders that have taken place, or who knows, maybe not taken place. We don't know.
He should resign. Under both borders are Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden.
You forgot his name.
Where is he, by the way? What the?
Being president.
Yeah. What the hell happened to him? Midwestern states from Pennsylvania to Wisconsin are being overwhelmed through 2 programs she created to deluge towns, just like yours.
To what? To what towns?
States from Pennsylvania to Wisconsin are being overwhelmed through 2 programs she created to deluge towns.
I'm just a little breezed by that one.
Just like yours. First, she created a program to fly in migrants from Venezuela, Haiti.
All right. Does he ever talk about immigrants?
Button through her phone app.
Good Lord Almighty.
War, you're going to end up having it. Also with us, Crawford County Sheriff Dale McCulloch. Dale.
Another name never said in his lifetime. Never heard of it. Never seen the person. Wouldn't know him if you fucking bit him.
Well, thank you. Wherever Dale is. Thank you, Dale.
And wherever Dale is, he's Dale. Thank you, Dale. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Good job. Prairie du Chien Police Chief Kyle Teener. Kyle, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Frank, for the 5 gifted, brother. Look at you. What a day. Have yourself a day, Frank. Let's fucking go. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, my dude. Couple more minutes of this. We only got a couple more left. Don't worry.
Thank you, Kyle. Good job.
We're almost there. You made it. Appreciate it. If you haven't yet, hop out, like, share, subscribe. Be great. Be great. Leave a bad comment if you want. If you hate me, if you think I'm stupid and you think everything I say is ridiculous, give me a thumbs down or a fuck you emoji or like a you suck in the comment. Like, you're wrong, lib, fucking libby, lefty, asshole. Like, some of that'll help in the chat. That makes people, makes YouTube know that you want to engage. Even though if it's in a negative way, they still know that you're engaging.
And Wisconsin GOP Chair Brian Chimming.
Is he going to get a single fucking name right? I'm sorry.
That was Brian. Oh, Brian.
Hey. Please keep my name out of your mouth because it makes me want to throw up now because you said my name a couple times. It's gross. I don't want you saying my name. Please. Thank you.
Stand up, Brian. Are we going to
Oh, not me? Okay.
win, Brian?
No, you're not. Absolutely not. Why do I feel like I'm having a conversation directly with Donald Trump right now through his video?
Okay, good. Brian's doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And now I'm definitely going to have to make this a drop. This is definitely going to have to be some sort of drop that I engage with on a regular basis because Donald Trump is praising me. You know, I mean, I'll take it where I can get it, right? Hey.
Doing a great job. Thanks, Brian. Good job.
Appreciate it. No problem. Anytime. I mean, it's what I do. I love shitting on you and your cohorts. It's just, I appreciate you recognize the fact that I am just, you know, one of the most well-versed people in calling out your bullshit that is on the internet. And I deserve to have well more than, 7,000 something subscribers. And we'll get there one day. We'll get there one day. But, you know, thank you. I appreciate the praise from not only Donald Trump, but the chat. And thank you, Kid B. Thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you. Everybody's just throwing recognition around. Trump, Jim the Geek, fucking everybody. Frank, the whole good vibe to the lobsters hit by Helene. Yes. Thoughts and prayers. Absolutely. Way to bring down the vibes, Jim. Just kidding. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Last couple minutes. We made it.
What Kamala did not talk about in her lies last night, just lied. Everything was a lie. And I always say, why didn't she do it? You know, she's been here almost 4 years.
Thank you so much, Lakeisha. I got a lot to say about the videos I saw today, especially the Roseanne video. I was offended by the blackface comment. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. One of the most despicable people that is that has any recognition right now on any platform is Roseanne Barr. Just one of the most outlandish pieces of shit. And then you got Tucker Carlson, the white nationalist motherfucker that absolutely didn't even lift a finger to call it out or, you know, do anything about it. So, Lakeisha, on behalf of everybody here at Blunt Politics, I apologize. Again, I didn't mean for it to offend anybody, but I think it's very, very important that we hear. I mean, a lot of people here say, oh, they're racist. And you hear fucking Republicans say, oh, they call us all racist and nobody understands. That's why. Okay. That's why, because the people that you worship, you may not be racist, but the people that you watch are. Donald Trump may not be racist, even though we know he is, but the fucking racists sure love the fuck out of Donald Trump, which should say a lot. So, Lakeisha, on behalf of everybody, my apologies. Obviously not something in 2024 that should even be a conversation at this point. So, again, didn't mean to offend anybody.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Reading off a teleprompter.
Okay, teleprompter Jim over here. Teleprompter Jim now shitting on somebody else for reading teleprompter. Oh, thank you, Surrender Monkey. We want our tea back, Brian. Well, you're not getting it. We dumped it overboard. We had a big party, called it the Tea Party, and now it's in the fucking, it's in Boston Harbor. It's in the harbor. All right, yeah, I'm done with this. Let's give everybody their recognition, everybody that contributed to the show today. I just wanted to, again, make sure that everybody knows. And there was much more to that. Again, I'd like to be able to cover all his speech. And again, if I have 2 shows a week, I think one we could dedicate to, you know, maybe a longer form clip, and then the other show we could get down to the news and shorter form clips. That would be ideal. I know I'm trying to squeeze it all into one podcast, into one show now, and I do apologize if I don't get through it all, but I don't want you to think that the parts that we didn't see of Donald Trump's speech were coherent or they were, you know, had any policy whatsoever. It was all demonization of immigrants. It was all racism, bigotry, xenophobia, the whole fucking speech from start to finish. So like Kamala Harris instructed you in the debate, please watch the fucking speeches. I know it's tough. I know it hurts, but it will give you such good insight into what these people believe, think about, and what they will do if they get into power. Okay. It sucks. I know it sucks. And I appreciate you sticking with me. I really do. But this is important. And it's always been important. And this is why I've been doing it we're going on fucking 10 years now. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure you're hopping out and hitting the like, subshare. Yeah, subshare. You can subshare. I don't know if there's a subshare button down there, but I think there is a subscribe and a share button. So maybe 2 separate buttons. Don't combine them and sound like an idiot like I just did. But all right, let's give everybody their due. Just Julie just became a member. Thank you, Julie. Patrick has had a big couple weeks. I appreciate you, Patrick. Happy Sunday. Let's fucking go. Thank you to you and the mods. You are fucking very much appreciated, Patrick. Thank you so much. Josh, hey, Brian, I think it's called Hal Sparks-itis. Yeah, it's just cover too much itis. That's what I got. I got to try to work it out. It'll work itself out. Like I said, the more shows I do, the more I'll be able to cover. The more I'll, you know, feel like I did and covered everything I wanted to. But it's just so tough now. Like I said, I got notes and sheets of everything I want to cover. And then as soon as the show starts, none of that matters. I don't look at it. I forget about it. And it just goes right out the window. But anyway, Sheldon, thank you so much. A few minutes is all I can stomach. No worries, Sheldon. Believe me, I understand it. We're getting to the point where we're not going to have to do it much longer. I promise. But it is important that we stick in it. It is important that we stick in it because, again, the race is still far too close. Nothing is won. Nothing is in the bag. Angela, thank you so much for the 20. I do appreciate you so much. Let's see here. Wendy, thank you for becoming a member. You've been here for 6 months. You lovely person. You lovely human being. Mwah. Thank you so much, Wendy. I love my sparkling. I'm going to say sparklers. I love my sparklers and lobster family. We're right there with you, both of us, as I am a member of both. So thank you so much. Sally, hurricane destruction is one example how you can pull yourself up by your bootstrap argument against government for ordinary people is a nonsense argument. Yeah. So let me guess. So they're against socialism, right? But then when natural disasters happen, they expect the money that, has come from the taxpayers in this country to then go towards helping that area or wide swaths of areas, multiple states to rebuild and to get people back on their feet. They're all for that. They're all for that, which is not exactly socialism, so to speak, but it is people putting money into a pile, putting money into a pot so that can be used for, in case of emergency, in short, or in layman's terms, basically. You know what I mean? So believe me, when it comes down to helping them, they'll be for it. If it comes down to their house was washing down the fucking road because the river has now taken over the road, you can be damn sure that they're not going to be worried about big government and how many fucking government vehicles come into their town to help them and how much government funded assistance is coming into their towns and their cities to help them. I can guarantee you they take that money. Just like when the fucking Republicans show up at the ribbon cuttings for the infrastructure projects that are going on because of the infrastructure package passed by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They show up to that even though they voted against it. They accept the money for their towns and their districts even though they voted against it. Nothing different here. Thank you so much, Wendy. Appreciate you, Sally. Josh, back at it. Yeah, Roseanne did look a little bitter. And again, fucking Mark, as always. Every week you do this, you special bastard. You appreciate you. Not only is he helping being a mod, but he's also watching and he's also gifting. I mean, it's the hat trick right there. You can't ask for much more than that. Slacks, appreciate you, my dude. Let's go. Love you, bro. Love to all the Bryantologists. Rev up your Harley for me. Give me a little rev. Lakeisha, yes, again, blackface. I'm insulted by this comment. Again, my apologies to anybody that was insulted by that, but this is exactly what we're facing. This is the bullshit. And I didn't even get to the craziest parts of Roseanne's speech. I mean, she went fucking ham crazy and racist. And again, I wasn't about to sit there and show you guys and subject you all to that. So I only could get through what I got through. Thank you again, Slacks. Fucking, you're the best, dude. Appreciate you so much. Sally, Mom's Russo, Sally again, Josh again, JD, Ricky becoming a member for 5 months, Ricky gifting 10 memberships. Luis, let's go. Boston Brian, have you played the one where Hal says that Trump seemed drunk? You and Hal are the ones that make me know that I'm not insane. Yeah, I did hear. I mean, I'm always watching, so I'm always lurking, even if I'm not in the chat. I try to say hi to the chat as much as I possibly can, but I'm always lurking. And yeah, and I threw a couple opinions in the chat. I don't think he was drunk. I really don't think he was drunk. Coming from an Irish guy living close to South Boston who's been drunk many thousands, hundreds, lots. I've been drunk a lot, or seen people that are. It just looked no different. It was just maybe a worse day. You know what I mean? Of him taking whatever prescribed medications he takes or whatever he does beyond prescriptions or anything like that. I don't think it was alcohol. I really don't. I think, like I said earlier in the show, if he was a closet drunk or if he was a closet drinker, he's been around long enough for some of those stories to come out. In my opinion, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a fucking specialist. I don't know. I just, from 10 years of watching the man, I've seen him much worse and slur much worse and fucking stumble over words much worse than that. So just my opinion. Who knows? Who knows who's right? Who knows who's wrong? Steve, thank you so much for becoming a member for 6 months. Michael McAndrews, thank you for the $20. You are fucking just always here, always on time. Fucking, I like it. I love the appreciation. I love when people show up every week. I love when they're contributing every week. It just, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing something right. People actually enjoy it, and it's not just a rotation of people that come and watch once and never watch again. Frankie, thank you so much. Nanette, thank you so much. He says shit to prep MAGA for the steal. Yes, he is absolutely 100%. I mean, he blatantly said it. If I lose this election, it's because it was stolen. He's already said it. That's it. It's out there. So now you can be damn sure that, I mean, he's been saying for months already that, oh, we're up in the polls, we're up in the polls, we're up in the polls. Every time they indict me, we go up in the polls. Every time this happens, we go up in the polls. So his people have now been hearing for several months now, lots of months, that they're up. And the only way it can be stolen from them is if we cheat. So get ready for it. Just make sure that you're not caught off guard by what may happen with these fucking freak shows. All right, Betsy, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you. JD also gifting 5. Christopher coming in with a $20 super chat. We will vote. Check your registrations and dates. Thank you very much. Absolutely, 100% right. Frank coming back with a 5. Mrs. T. Is that Mr. T's husband, wife? Thank you so much. Vote blue through and through. Love you, Boston Brian. Right back at you, Mrs. T. Appreciate you. Loretta Smith, the desperation is real in these streets. Absolutely. Kit B08, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. Jim the Geek in the house talking about good vibes. We do have some good vibes here at Blunt Politics. We do. I think there should be a much larger community. I think that we can get the Midas Touch people involved. If we get Midas Mighty in here, we can really let this platform grow. And then we maybe have 4 or 5 or 6 really big creators on here that can go head to head with, the Charlie Kirks and the fucking the Russian state-backed media, fucking tenant media assholes over there on the right. And we can actually go head to head, toe to toe, because right now, as usual, the Republicans, because of Elon owning fucking Twitter now and only letting the shit that he wants up there put up there, and Republicans and conservatives consistently get more views and paid more money to do what they do in this arena. So that's just how it is. Lakeisha, thank you so much for the 10. I do appreciate you very much. And again, one more apology. Surrender Monkey wants his tea back. Say what? Let's see if I can figure this out. Heart up, down, heart, US, smiley face, thumbs up. I'm gonna guess that's a good thing. Thank you, Say What. I appreciate you. Mountain bike fan became a YouTuber. Thank you so much. Like I said, $2 a month, guys. Appreciate it. Or grab a t-shirt. Get Dem shirts, like get Democratic shirts, but demshirts.myshopify.com. Again, lots of stuff on there, not even to do with politics. Doesn't have to be to like mental health awareness, single moms, representing for single moms, that type of stuff. Let's go. Colleen, thank you. Doppelganger for D. Wahlberg. Why? Because of the hat? Because of the hat, I'm thinking. Let's see. Thank you, Nicholas. Like number 468. Can't stay. Catches later. I think Nick has family day, if I'm not mistaken. If I do remember what he says in Hal's chat. So family first. Say hi to your family for me. I appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate your contributions, my friend. Hinda, let's go. It's social democracy from democratic cities. Yes, correct. They're talking about the funding and the aid. I take it. Can we address why his hair was lavender? Yeah, I think he's had that like a red light above him for the last couple speeches. Even the speech he was talking about his hair and like looking in the teleprompter, it looked like he had like fucking pink hair. So like it almost looked like his scalp, like his hair is getting so thin that his pink scalp is starting to shine through more. Maybe. Vinny, thank you for becoming a member. Also, donate. Thank you for the $6.80, making it an even 10. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you. Christy Freeze, appreciate you so much. Thank you for all you do, Brian. No, thank you for all you do. I don't do shit. I just bought a camera, a microphone, and started yapping. You guys are the ones that do the work and keep the show running. All right, so 7 minutes over. I think that's pretty good. I didn't do too bad, guys. I didn't do too bad. I'll let you guys go. I'll let you get back to your favorite football teams. Good luck. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you're just, saying hi to the people you love, making sure the people that you love and the people that are close enough know that you are there for them. Make sure that you're calling and reaching out to your family and friends, making sure that they're registered to vote. Strike up conversations where you don't think it's, a normal place where you strike up a conversation with a person that you wouldn't normally strike up a conversation with. See how they're feeling, see what their mindset is, see if you can change that. Just give them the facts and the figures. do what you can do. But I hope everybody has a beautiful weekend. Hope everybody's family is well. I love you guys. Until next week, I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. If you haven't yet, on the way out, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you share it out. I do appreciate it. I love you guys. Until next time, I will see you later.
You know, they're just getting acclimated. You know what that means, acclimated? People came in illegally from 168 different countries. Most people don't know there's that many countries. There's more than that in the world.
Hold on, one more thing. I'm back. I can never leave once. I can never just leave once. I wanted to throw this out there, folks. So patreon.com/Boston Brian. These are the dates for our October Zoom meetings. Zoom meetings where you just come, hang out, shoot the shit. It's not a paywall for anything, for any content behind the scenes. It's literally just, more of a meet and greet, talk about you guys, what's going on in life, something other than politics, shows that you watch, whatever it may be. So we usually have our monthly Zoom. It's going to be October 8th, and then the VIP Zoom is October 22nd. And thank you, Mel, for the graphics. I do appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew. You can always sign up at patreon.com/Boston Brian. It's a fantastic way to help. The shirts are a fantastic way to help. The memberships are a great way to help. Any way you can help, share the show out, like it, subscribe. That's literally all you have to do. Free stuff is great. If you have the financial abilities to go and above and beyond that, thank you so much. If you don't, thank you so much. It doesn't matter to me. So thank you so much.
There's a fly. Oh, I wonder where the fly came from. And you'll have a group of Venezuelan killers, street gangs, occupying the town with MK-47's. I know that gun very well. I got to know. The water coming here is dead. The water coming here is dead. They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
And thank you so much to the mods. Mods keep the show running. I appreciate you guys immensely. Tanya, Irby, OG Adam, Andrea, Mark, all you guys, Roxy. Appreciate you guys with all my heart. I really, really do. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you so much for being there and keeping the show running. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your week.
Is going to sign those papers, and if he doesn't sign those papers, we won't give him money to put out all his fires. And if we don't give him the money to put out his fires, he's got problems. He's a lousy governor. Kamala Harris, it's interesting. Nobody really knows her last name. If you ask people, do you know what her last name is? Nobody has any idea what it is. Harris. It's like Harris. He wanted to debate. If we didn't have a debate, he'd still be there. Can you imagine if we didn't have a debate? Why the hell did I debate him?
Just landed in a really beautiful place, Montana. So beautiful flying over, and we just look down, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But we have a very high rating in Montana. We have a lot of popularity. I like them, they like me.
Stupid people. What I wanted to refute it, they said, sir, don't dignify it with a rebuttal. Refute or rebuttal. What the hell word would that be? Rebuttal? What they'll say. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat to. All I know about magnets is that we've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel, and he's doing great. What uranium is, right? This thing called nuclear weapons and other things, like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things. Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was. The Battle of Gettysburg, what an unbelievable, it was so much and so interesting and so vicious and horrible, and so beautiful in so many different ways. It represented such a big portion of the success of this country. Gettysburg, wow. I go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to look and to watch. Never fight uphill, me boys, never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow, that was a big mistake. He lost his great general. And they were fighting, never fight uphill, me boys, but it was too late. Just this week it was reported that an illegal alien, and you just look at this, what's happening. Welcome to our country from the Congo. Where do you live in the Congo? We live in prison. Oh, shifting production to Thailand and to Vietnam. It is a profound honor to be the beautiful new stadium, to be here with you. Swami Vive Kamunan Suchin Tendolkar Virat Kohli. No words. I have the best words. But there's no better word than stupid. Venezuela. Our army manned the air. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Size of Wyoming. Its chief exports are textiles, footwear, and rice. Each year, approximately 13,000 people are killed in car accidents in Thailand.
Vagina, 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 vagina. Yesterday's a hard word for me.
Call them dumps, big massive dumps. They call them dumps, big massive dumps. They call them dumps, big massive dumps.
Obama, 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 Obama.
All I smell is your bullshit.
Oh, get those lights off! Off!
Turn them off,
they're too bright, turn them off! Following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. The big, fat, sloppy United States.